Hi.
Shalom.
Okay. All right. Guys, listen, we've been off your screens for a bit. We're back. And today's a book club episode. So one of the things that I like to do right at the beginning of every episode, and I want to try and do now from now on in, is tell you guys a bit more about us and what we want to do and just where everything is going. You're currently watching this and you probably are not subscribed. So I was actually looking at this the other day, yeah. 85.2% of people currently watching this are not subscribed.
I swear that number was way lower before.
Yeah, now it's gone higher.
What was it?
It was like 60%. Now
we got more views now, innit?
Yeah, we did get more views, but now the problem is people are not subscribing. So what do they need to do?
You heard it.
Just press the red button. It's not difficult. Anyway, another thing I want to do is I've started realizing as well, in terms of even the content that we do produce, people aren't liking as much.
How did the last video do?
It did alright.
There were some gems in that. I can't
There
lie.
was some gems. So you haven't watched it, you need to go
You haven't
watch
watched the last episode. Go and watch the last episode.
Please.
Yeah.
I beg of you. Lastly, just comment.
Chat to us.
Now, really, genuinely speaking, and you'll see it from this episode anyway, we want to build a brand. We want Perspective to be bigger than it is right now. And the vision that we want to get to is not going to happen without you guys. And we constantly need your support and also your opinions.
Well,
We read every comment. I read every comment.
I read every comment through Bendif's reading of every comment.
Thank you. So if you're currently watching this right now, and you are watching this right now, go to the bottom, comment, and throughout any time of the episode, tell us what you think and share. We just want to learn more about other people's perspectives. Thank you so much, and we will
Gracias.
love you guys even more. Now, how do you create a brand that everyone resonates with?
For those of you that don't know, I don't know if you mentioned it, but today is a book club episode.
Yeah.
Don't come for me, I'm dyslexic. And the book we're going to be talking about today is called Emotion by Design.
By Greg Hoffman.
Yeah, I was not trying that surname.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we've got some good notes, so let's kick it off.
We haven't done this in a bit. We haven't done any book club. I think the last one was what?
Was it Atomic Habits?
No, we did Atomic Habits, then 4-hour work week.
Did we do 4
Yeah,
hour
we
work
did 4-hour
week?
work week.
Wow, that
So
feels
this
like
is
a
the third
long
one.
time ago.
Crazy, isn't it? A lot's happened. But what we want to speak to you guys, and the main thing that we're going to address today is what he says. And I've done this whole thing from start to finish, and I'm going to shoot off ideas, and then we're just going to discuss it and see the benefits that come out of it. All right?
Sounds good.
Cool. Now, Greg Hoffman, he gives us 7 different rules for how to build a successful brand.
Mm-hmm.
And the main thing that he says is, obviously from the title, Emotion by Design. When you design a brand, how does it make you feel? That's with everything. And even off camera, me and Yahya were having a conversation about like businesses and stuff like that. And I think the main thing that we can both agree on is it has to make you feel something. You can't sell something unless there actually is some value there.
Yeah, I don't know how involved you are with Twitter nowadays. Or X. But I've been seeing like a lot of tweets that say I read 10 books in the space of a week about neurology, and this is what I found. Or these are 10 tips that I found. And I've seen them so many times. Every time I see them, they just blow. They get so much traction. And I think like it just it puts things into different perspective. And like, let's say you were to create a business about saving people time in something, just being very explicit in like, oh, this will save you 10 hours of your day. It kind of makes you not emotional, but it definitely like can make you think, okay, whoa, that really sticks out. I think it's not necessarily a emotion thing, but it is definitely one of the things that I've noticed to have a big impact on
everything.
Like catching attention.
Interesting. Cool. I'm just going to shoot off ideas, like I said, and then we'll just discuss it. One of the things he says, with building a team behind the brand is that creativity is a team sport. So you need different players. For example, here, we currently have 3 different players. By building a creative dream team, there's 4 different points that he says that I think are quite interesting. The first one is embrace the daydreamers. What does he mean by this? So it's like those people that are outwardly thinking, innit? They're always thinking outside of the box.
Yeah. So I like when, as you've said that, there are a few people that come to mind that I would class as daydreamers. Sometimes they would give you the most stupid ideas, but sometimes they will give you the most genius ideas ever. And if you were to just go off of, oh no, that idea is stupid, and kind of devalue them, like they're not important, you miss out on the times that actually give you very creative ideas.
Yeah.
So that's why, like, being a daydreamer and thinking outside of the box makes you sometimes think of things that are maybe not feasible for sometimes, but in other situations, it's bang on. It's the thing that you need. So I can understand, like, having people that are the daydreamers or the optimistic ones.
Very important.
Yeah.
Very, very important. And even on top of that, you said this anyway, the next point was exactly what you said.
Yeah.
Making sure that their voices are heard. Even though sometimes they can come out with some crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Which might not be feasible. Just listen, because you don't know what could come out.
Yeah. Sometimes, I don't know, like, I always say to you, the thing that you're working on behind the scenes, like, not just you, but anyone that's working on a project with multiple other people, sometimes what can happen is during a discussion, maybe 2 people are like doing most of the talking, and then sometimes the people that are talking less have really good ideas, but because these guys are louder, they don't get their chance to really share. So it's just really important to, if you notice anyone being quiet in a group or a team thing, it's just really important to, like, either make them feel comfortable by having a one-on-one thing or just directing the conversation to them.
100%. I think the other thing that he says, he goes, make sure that you create a team where there's people that have left brains and right brains.
Yeah.
You know, the whole neurology aspect. So people with left brain, I don't know what the difference is, but I think the left brains are technical and then the right brains are more creative. Yeah. Make sure that they multiply each other.
Yes. So this is actually very, very valuable advice. If you want to build a product, particularly in the space, in the tech space, I think there's about 3 to 4 positions you need to fill out. So one is someone that will design the thing for you, how it would look, what the flow would be between pages or whatever. Then you need someone to actually put that into practice, which is your developer. And that can cover, actually putting it into practice and putting it out online. And then, as you've just seen from those 2 people, we've covered a left brain, which is the developer. Yeah. We've covered a right brain, which is the creative person and the designer. And then you need that other last kind of component, which is someone that will be able to then go and take that and sell it.
Other people, yeah.
Yeah. Now, why is it important to have both left and right? So what I've noticed with people that are very analytical and very smart and developers, they're great at doing what you tell them. And sometimes they can be creative in solving their own problems. But maybe sometimes they're not so good at recognizing a problem that a user would have. So they're just so fixated on being very delivering what you've asked of them and creative in their own way with their own stuff. But sometimes it can be difficult for them to make the process easier. Whereas a designer who's more creative, provided you're kind of aligned with them in simplicity, they're a lot more, okay, this isn't a thing. Don't do it that way. That's why they have a whole thing, user experience.
UX?
Yeah, so you got UI and UX. A lot of the time, one person takes both roles. But sometimes I think you can have 2, but I've not seen it anyway. User interface, so how it will look, and user experience, how the flow would be. and you couple that up with a developer, then you couple those two up with a salesperson, provided it's something that has value and adds value to people's lives, I think you've got your product in a very good space.
You heard it here first.
You heard it here
first. No, I agree. I totally agree. I don't know what else I can say to that.
Yeah, no, like
that's some really, really, really good advice, by the way, for anyone literally that's even thinking about building anything or stuck about what to do. Make sure you got the right people around you, man. And the thing that I've learned a lot from Yahya right now, anyway, over the last few months, is if you don't know how to do something, get somebody that can do that thing that you're not good at, and then marry those two together.
There is a thin line in that. Like I said to you off air, I was speaking to someone who was building an app, and he has no clue about how apps work or how tech or computing works, and I kind of rate it. Like, you still went out there and you're trying and you're hiring people, but he spent about £20,000 and he's still in the design phase.
Yeah.
Now, why I said it's a thin line is because you might want to do something and you don't know how to. You ask someone, fine, but you definitely need to educate yourself at least to a bare minimum of that thing to avoid inefficiencies. So, in his case, like, why is it costing you so much to just get a design done? Is it the fact that you're
overcomplicating it, maybe?
Overcomplicating it.
Sometimes when you want to create something so bad, you overcomplicate and you end up doing nothing.
And that's why I think left brains have that problem.
Yeah.
Where they're too analytical. That's why, have you heard that phrase? The A grades work for the B grades and the C grades are the owners of the companies.
No.
Anyone heard of that?
No.
Anything like that? Because A grade, technically speaking, not all the time. Of course, there's a lot of A grade people that are very businessy and creative, but they are just very analytical and technical and.
Are you saying
binary.
A grade in school?
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's like, okay, this must lead to this, must lead to this.
Okay.
Whereas B grades they're capable, maybe not so as much or as analytical as the A grade. Then the C grade guys, they're the ones that they are good enough to, it's kind of what goes back to what I said at the beginning, to know the bare minimum and then just take the risks. Like, that's just how they are wired, even from school. They're not wired to just be very analytical and get this means this means this. It's more, I have the bare minimum and I know what I need to do to get things sort of done. Or get this guy together. It happens at school. I swear, I remember so in maths I was like pretty good. And there was a guy behind me, one of the tests, and he was like, "Oi, yeah. That's what they call it. Yeah, show me. I was like, I got you, man. And then I just put it up, like pretending I was reading. But that's him using his tools around him to get the job done.
That's true, man. That's true. That's crazy. You know, I always used to think that about myself. I was like, even when I put that into my life, I never wanted to be, I could never get to that A all the time.
Yeah.
I was never that A grade type of guy all the time. I never understood why.
Same, you know.
And I thought that was, you know how your parents like put bare pressure on you and it's like if you don't get to that level, like that it means that's it, your life's finished, innit?
Yeah.
But you're right. You get the people that were mediocre in school that now doing so well.
Every person I know that's doing so well was mediocre at school.
That's crazy. But then where's the real value then? Is the real value in education?
Yeah.
Or the education system? Or is the real value on how the person becomes after education?
I had this conversation with someone. They were saying that they wanted to send their child or their nephew or their niece to like a all-girls school or all-boys school. I can't remember the exact thing. And I can't remember, there was an element of it where I thought a lot of this child, a lot of their experience would be limited.
Mm-hmm.
And I said to them, I actually don't think school is for learning.
It's not.
Like, I think school is, of course, you learn everything you learn. Like the core basics come back to primary school and whatever. Fine. But I think school is more of a place of social learning. So it's not necessarily like learning how to do this and that, like mathematics or whatever.
You know what? I'm so glad you said this. I'm so glad you said this. You know, I'm in the tuition business, right?
Yeah.
So I teach, I tutor.
Yeah.
There should be no need for people like me. If the education system worked properly, there should be no need for people like me. I fill in the gaps.
Yeah.
And there's so many gaps.
Yeah.
Now, I have 2 students that are homeschooled.
Right.
They teach me.
Huh? They teach you?
It ends up being the thing where they teach me. They're homeschooled, as in their level, like they should be in year 7. They're doing the GCSEs next year.
Mad.
One of them, 17 years old,
Yeah.
going into university this year.
Would you homeschool your kids?
100%. If I could, 100%.
Really?
100%.
Why?
Just because they become so much more advanced so quickly.
In what advanced? In what sense?
What school does is it limits you to a curriculum based on your mental capabilities. Okay? Now, not even your mental capabilities. It's just
What
based
they
on
assume your mental
everyone
capabilities.
should be at that level.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then you get some people in school that were gifted and talented,
Yeah.
this and that, whatever. Even the gifted and talented weren't given the attention that they should have got.
Okay.
Now, if the person is homeschooled, you cater to their needs, which means if in year 1 they're struggling with spelling, you iron it out really quickly. Don't wait till year 4 and then iron it out there. See how you said you're dyslexic, right?
Yeah.
Guaranteed if you were homeschooled,
Yeah.
it would have been picked up a lot earlier.
Yeah.
You would have been able to deal with it a lot earlier. And then by the time you were in secondary school, you're flying.
Flying in what sense though? From academics?
Academically, you're flying, bro.
But this is what I mean.
Yeah.
If I had the option to take my child to a normal school, and put it this way, if you're homeschooling, you've got money.
Yeah.
Is it not the case? What do you mean?
Nowadays, it depends if the people are on a budget.
But generally speaking, like, if you're someone like you come from a okay, so let's
they can't hear Eamon right now, but it's easier to do if you've got money. He said,
if I have the money and I've got 2 options. Option A, to take my child to normal school, and then get them a tutor outside for whatever the case may be, or pure homeschool, and both are like the same price. I'd take the first one, for them to go to a normal school and then get like a tutor. Why? And maybe my understanding of homeschooling is wrong, but I just feel like you miss out on so much social knowledge.
You'd be surprised.
By going to...
You'd be very surprised.
Educate me.
For example, the 2 students that I've got that are homeschooled.
Yeah.
They're homeschooled. They spend the majority of their day at home. However, their socialization comes from clubs.
Okay.
So sports clubs, drama clubs, stuff like this. Yeah. That get you out of your comfort zone. So you have a young boy that's like 13, 14.
Yeah.
Academically he's flying. You put him in a crowd where they have to be out of their comfort zone. For example, drama club, they teach you how to speak. They teach you public speaking. They teach you how to communicate with people. They're the best communicators.
Okay.
Because when I have conversation with them, I don't have a conversation with them like I'm speaking to a child. Where, like I'm saying, do you understand this? I'm speaking to them like it's you. Because of how advanced their mind is.
Yeah. I don't know enough about homeschooling. But from like what I hear or what I know, I just think it's important to put your child out into a world where it's not bubbleized.
It's not bubbleized.
How?
So what he's saying is you meet people from different walks of life, basically. I get what you're saying.
As in, do you know, school, like...
It is a bubble. Because when you leave school, you're like, wow.
Yeah.
No, but that's restrictions. A bubble and restrictions are different, I think.
No, I think even homeschool, you can restrict or you can unrestrict. There's networks, homeschool
No, but I think restriction.
They do trips, they do all of that stuff that you would do in school,
Yeah.
just without the faffing about school.
So basically, it's school,
At home.
but learning quicker.
Okay, let me ask you this question. Yeah, let me ask you this question.
It's better for you.
Have you got any trauma from school?
I love school. School
Okay.
was sick. That's why I'm like so like. I wish.
Or what did you love about school?
I feel like you just, the social aspect.
Yeah.
But you just get to really learn for the first time in your life about different people's emotions
Okay.
and like how people are so different.
Okay.
Like there's people from all walks. I wouldn't say all walks of life. What to be fair?
So why do the richest people in the world not send their children to school?
Why do the richest people? Well, I'd want to see stats first of all
Okay.
of how many people don't actually send them to school.
You know what? We've transcended so much with this conversation, by the way.
That's true. Let's
We
go back.
started by talking
Let's
about
get back to emotion
collaboration.
by design.
And now we're talking about the science of which one's which and this and that. But ironically, the next point is getting yourself out there
Perfect.
in order to be as creative as possible.
Yeah.
Get yourself out there.
What does he mean by that?
He means what he's saying is basically don't wait for, and this is for Eamon to be fair, don't wait for inspiration to hit you. Go out there and find it.
Don't wait for inspiration to hit you.
Yeah, to
Go
find
out
you.
there
Go out
and
there and
find
find
it.
it. Travel. Speak to people. See
Mm.
things.
Yeah, I agree.
Sometimes, when I came back from Algeria, by the way, I was in Algeria, just to let you guys know, if you didn't know already. When I came back, the first day I came back, I came back into that room on the right hand side.
Yeah.
I sat down, I was like, snap,
Back to reality.
back to reality. But it's not about even back to reality, because when I was out there, my mind was still thinking. I was meeting people, I was seeing
Yeah.
things. They're like, bruv, like if you don't constantly learn through people, through meeting people, through seeing things, through this and that,
Yeah.
well, you're going to feel like you're whatever. Anyway, the point is, if you sit on one thing, on one place, just on a laptop, banging on all day, you're not actually
Yeah.
furthering yourself.
What was that part? That phrase?
Make
Go
a
out.
plan,
No.
go
the
out there,
inspiration
don't wait
thing.
for inspiration to hit you. Make
Yeah.
a plan and go and find it.
Yeah, I think that's so true in so many different. Like if you're going through a tough patch,
Yeah.
a lot of people subconsciously like their mind just tells them like, oh,
Indoors.
indoors,
Yeah.
but also like it will eventually get better. And I think that thinking of it will eventually get better is really important. Obviously, you need like hope, whether you're a religious person or not. Like you're supposed to have hope, but to have hope and no action, that's where the problem is.
Yeah.
You need to be like, okay, cool, it will get better, but this is what I need to do, and have a serious, uncomfortable conversation with yourself, and then go out and do it.
He says, where can you go?
Yeah.
What can you see? And who can you meet?
Wow.
It's crazy, isn't it?
That's such a good way to put it.
Where can you go? What can you see? And who can you meet? These
Bruv,
three things.
when
That's
you put it that way, it's
Yeah.
like, whoa. Okay, where can I go? Okay, I can go. Not even from a brand perspective,
Yeah.
just generally in life. Like when you recognize, oh right, like I can actually go to this place and see this and that, meet these people.
Yeah.
It's like, why am I not doing it?
Yeah. You get more inspiration and you get more motivation to do more after you speak to different people,
Yeah.
you see different things, and you go to different places.
And I think that's like, even if you have seen Bendif in public, you probably have seen a perspective hat or a perspective hoodie or a perspective tracksuit,
Get another one soon.
and that's branding.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I feel like you have a lot of, even though you would disagree, you have a lot of connections and people that you know, because you go out there and you're involved in a lot of things.
Bro, you'd be surprised. You know what? Yeah, when I was in Algeria this time, me and my friend, we were in a coffee shop,
Yeah.
and
Someone came up to you.
no one came up to me, but I wasn't actually wearing anything perspective related.
Yeah.
Then I saw on the right hand side they were on a laptop, on Premiere Pro editing videos. I was a bit interested. It was like they looked like they were like
Yeah.
editing a vlog and this and that, whatever. I was like, cool. What'd you do? I'm in a film school. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
I do this.
Yeah.
Then they go on like perspective and this and that. And the conversation after that, bear in mind, there's a language barrier. So I was speaking in English on purpose. They speak French. So it was a bit broken. But what came out of it, I did not expect. Because we ended up having a conversation, and then they said they knew this person that's into like the arts and this and that. And I was like, bruv, we could collaborate.
Yeah.
And all that came from was me having that curiosity.
Yeah.
Of what are you doing?
Yeah. Honestly, man, it's so true. Like, just, you never know the friendships that you create, which one will end up like helping you in a certain point in life. So it's just like, try your best to just know as many people as possible, because you just never know.
The problem is here in the UK, we have this culture that is like everyone should just stay to themselves. We have that culture
We
here.
definitely do, yeah.
It's so bad.
Yeah.
Yesterday I was on a bus coming back home, and there was a guy that was like playing sound from his phone. Then there was another guy that told him to take it down. Please, I'm trying to think.
Yeah. Wait.
I'm
On
like,
the
wait, what?
On the bus?
On a public bus.
What was it? That loud? Or
It wasn't
just
loud.
Mm.
It's just like the whole thing of no one talk to no one. Everyone stays to themselves. Everyone's just in a bubble constantly, this and that.
That is definitely true in the UK. Like if you go to America, you're right.
Yeah.
Especially London, even New York, to be fair. But the further out you go from like these very corporate cities, bruv, even if you just leave London and you go to Cardiff or like whatever, the further out you go from London, the nicer the people are.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
Manny lot are very, very nice.
Are they?
Yeah.
I went to a Lidl, there was no one there. There's like 10 people walking around shopping.
Yeah.
I went to the queue and I queued for 45 minutes because they were having a conversation.
Bloody
Eamon
hell.
said that the people of Norfolk,
Oh, very nice.
Norfolk are very nice people. This is the next bit of value, yeah? He says vision advantage. What he says is use your broader vision to gain a greater understanding about the world and the people beyond your experience.
Does that come into like when you don't know how to do something to get other people?
No, well, it's basically saying see what others see, find what others don't.
Okay.
It's quite difficult to understand.
Yeah.
But your broader vision, look at how the world is and learn more about other ways of life, basically. Because then it's a bit difficult one, to be fair, now that I'm saying it out loud.
Yeah. All these things are very, they're not supposed to be something that's like very
Rigid.
yeah.
Yeah.
And that's the, if
It's the beauty of it.
it's a beauty of it,
Yeah.
but it's also something that brings people back.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I've tried this, but it's not working. It's
No,
not.
that's true.
It's not a science. Like it's a right brain kind of thing.
You know when you're working in a team, yeah? Let's say, have you been in like a management position or a position where you're like taking charge, yeah?
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you need to ask permission from people?
If I'm already like
Yeah.
the managing person.
Yeah. Let's say you want to do something. Let's say you got an idea. You're sitting down, you're in the toilet. I don't know what it is. That's where I get my ideas from. But you're sitting down in the toilet, you get an idea.
Yeah.
Ask for permission.
Never.
Why?
What does that even mean?
So let's say you're in a team. Let's say all three of us, yeah?
Yeah.
You come up with an idea. I don't know. You want to interview Steve Jobs.
Mm-hmm.
Would you ask for permission?
Like, hey, Bendif, is it all right if we
Yeah. Yeah.
please
Yeah.
interview Steve?
Yeah.
Wouldn't be a permission thing, but given that we're doing this together,
Yeah.
I wouldn't go and take a big decision, nor would I expect you to, without consulting each other.
Cool. What he says is don't ask for permission. Now look at this value. He goes, the fastest way to suck imagination out of your brand culture is to require the team to ask for permission beforehand.
But I think that's slightly different.
He's talking about the team in general.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, to a certain degree, sometimes
Yes.
don't ask permission, just do it.
It goes back to what we spoke about at the beginning. It's like creating a culture in which people can just be creative and think outside the box.
Yeah.
Whereas if you shut them down all the time, then you're not letting them be creative. You can't really build like a brand in that way. Or you can, but it just won't be a
The
good
thing is,
brand.
let's say we got a creative person in, yeah,
Yeah.
and they were creating video content or graphic, you name it, all of them, yeah,
Yeah.
and they came up with an idea and they just wanted to execute it without your permission. How do you feel?
Provided it's not something of me saying, provided it's not me saying anything crazy.
Let's say, yeah, they create it, but they
Yeah.
don't post it.
That's great. I love that. Obviously, like,
CVs, send them in.
yeah, send your CVs in, please. No, you want that.
Yeah.
You want people to like go and like do their thing and then come back and say, okay, I've done this.
Mhm.
Sick. But I can understand in a corporate environment, it's like, no, we have priorities. We haven't got time to do this. We need to focus on delivering this project.
Mhm.
Whereas, and I've seen it where a friend of mine, we used to work together in my first job, and whenever he'd like come up with this idea, he'd always be told it's not priority right now.
Mhm.
Then he just went away and did it, and they loved it up. They use it probably till this day.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you just have to
Just do it.
just do it, not seek permission,
Also, take big swings.
like KSI.
Yeah, take big swings. He says, take the big innovative swings. Even the misses will lead to success down the road.
That is so flipping true.
But I've never seen that happen in my life. Actually, yeah.
Bruv,
Yeah,
I can say stuff, but I don't know if you would want to put it up, but it's definitely happened in your life.
Oh, yeah. I know now. I know what you're saying now. Yeah,
Bro.
big swing, yeah.
Like, big swings,
Yeah.
you might not hit the target, but you know what to do next time.
Yeah.
You know to time it right. You know to
Yeah.
maybe not so, maybe hit a different target. Yeah.
Bloody hell, there's bear flipping, everything's going around here. But he does use this analogy, yeah. Greg does use this analogy. He goes, the average major league player in the Baseball Hall of Fame has a 0.301 career batting average, meaning they get out more than they get on base. Meaning they concede more than they score, but they're still considered the all-time greats. It's just the whole thing of just try, just do it.
Just do it. Nike.
He did, yeah.
Oh
You know
yeah,
that?
I know.
I'm just gonna go through a few more points, and then we can just discuss it.
Yeah.
How can you tell your story within an image in an instant? Talking about an idea can only go so far. Get visuals sooner to bring the team into your idea and the idea to the consumer.
Yeah. I wish I could talk about that, but I don't think.
I find that hard, you know.
Yeah, of course. I think brands find it hard. How many times have you seen like a poster on a billboard or in the train, and you look at the ad, it's like, okay, well, what's this about? I don't get it. Like, even these big brands with that much money are struggling to do it.
That's crazy, isn't it? So they must burn through so much money.
I know someone that did a ITV ad. I think you did as well.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
do, yeah.
And
How did that go? How did it do? How did it perform?
I don't know how it performed, but like the numbers for an ad in general for TV are like so high. And like my first job, I used to do it in marketing, so I'd see like how much companies are pumping into like TV, but TV in this day and age for a new product. So TV is like a traditional way of advertising.
Mm-hmm.
When you've got like new products, it doesn't necessarily translate directly or immediately into revenue. It's more of a brand image, that you're building.
When it's on TV, it means it's credible.
Yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
oh, it's credible, but it's like you can't expect but I've seen crazy ROI on influencer marketing.
Is it?
Crazy. Crazy.
That's why they spend so much money on it.
Like, but you have to do it right. But if you get it right,
You get it right.
you are, bro,
Yeah.
insane.
Interesting.
I've seen.
Give me a figure. I want a figure so I can put money in my head.
So 5 grand turning into
Don't tell me 5 M's.
no. No. Maybe, who knows?
Yeah.
It probably maybe has happened, but like having let's say if you spend £5,000 on an influencer, it could either be the wrong influencer and it just flops. You get one sign up for something, or you spend that £5,000 correctly in the correct audience, and you get 100 or 200 people that sign up. Let's say it's a recurring thing, so it's a subscription model. You would hit your ROI of 5,000 depending on your pricing at some point, but not
But it's
only
consistent.
that, it keeps coming. Keeps
Yeah,
coming.
it's recurring.
Keeps coming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's sick.
So
man.
for influencer marketing, if you do it right on a subscription-based model business,
then you're laughing. You're
I'm laughing.
absolutely laughing. But if you don't have time and you also have less money, apparently it's good for you as well.
what influencer marketing?
No.
What?
Apparently Greg says if you have less money and less time, embrace the limitations, he says.
Yeah.
If you're in a stage in your brand or you're a stage in your business where you
Yeah.
have less time and less money, it's a good thing. It could
Mm.
be of benefit because the pressure of time and budget restraints can be an imagination boom, apparently.
Yeah.
And you think more outside the box to be able to make with what you have. Similar to the story you just said about the guy that just burnt 20 grand. Maybe if he had less money, he would have found a way to put it to market a lot sooner and maybe even create a better product at the end.
Yeah. I think that goes both ways as well, right? Like when you have limited time, you can either
Make you or break you.
make you or break you. And I
Yeah.
think for me, when I'm running on limited time, I don't like it. I just struggle to be creative. But I still set myself like internal deadlines. I say, okay, I want to hit this by then. And I just, however I want to do it,
Mm-hmm.
I can plan myself. But if someone says to me, okay, within a week, we need to do something crazy, I'll probably be like, she
Ain't gonna happen.
can try. I'll probably get you like the basic stuff, but it's not going to be a finished product, depending on what it is, of course.
Interesting. Cool. The next part, and this is, I'm going to run through all of this, yeah, really quickly. He talks about logos. He says that logos are a visual signature. Treat it as the most important part of your brand's future. Commit to getting it right, and it'll be able to carry the weight of your consumers' long life ambitions.
Yes, I agree. Do you remember we had that? It's funny, actually. It would be interesting if we had vlogged everything. But remember when I was in Dubai the first time earlier this year, and then we were we're getting these tops, and then you guys did the designs, and I looked at it, I was like, no, that can't happen.
We still differ in that opinion.
Really?
Yeah,
Do you still differ on it?
I still differ
You?
in that opinion.
Oh, so you think it would have been better? I thought I convinced you guys.
I don't know. I'm on the fence.
Been convinced, but this also makes sense.
Both make sense.
This is beautiful. Look at it. Crisp, simple, a signature of our brand, as Greg would say.
That's why we.
That's why it
You
works.
don't have to convince us to do this.
No, it does work.
It already made sense to us.
Yeah, it does
I
work.
had to fight it, man. I had to fight a bit.
To do something different.
Yeah. But yeah, so with logos, like it's really important. Bruv, perspective. Like the logo is just in my mind. Even when I said to you outside, when I see the word perspective in English, it just looks wrong.
You have to
Like-
split it with a Q.
Yeah, you have
Yeah.
my phone autocorrects with a Q instead of a C.
Yeah.
But the whole thing about logo, yes, it's really important and it's important to get it right. But I've created a logo. I went on Canva. I wrote like a letter and I just use that as a logo sometimes.
What?
Like, as in the point I'm trying to make is some people spend so much time before they even start the business or start whatever it is.
on that, yeah.
They try and make the
Just
perfect
do
logo.
it and then figure it out after.
Apple changed their logo at the start.
Yeah, or name as well. Names. Names. Maybe you want to spend a bit more time. Yeah, but logo, you can always change it later. But it shouldn't be something that stops you. Nike changed their name. What were they before?
Blue Ribbon Sports. Blue Ribbon Sports.
Oh wow.
The next few, cool. Style without performance is fleeting and forgotten. Performance without style can be respected but doesn't transcend. Meaning, if you have style, it looks nice, but there's no quality. Forget it.
Yeah.
Provide depth and discovery within the image of your brand. Let there be layers of meaning. So, for example, perspective. Let there be layers. It could be anything. So when people see something, they think of a variety of different things, not just one thing.
Yeah.
What movie has the consumer just walked into, and what are the scenes they are a part of? Build an immersive world for your brand and its product to play a movie that engages all senses.
With that being said, live event.
Are you really going to say that?
When are we doing the live event?
We're talking about it internally. But I really want to, man. I think
that's quite immersive.
Yeah. But if we do something, it has to be bloody amazing. Otherwise, we don't do it.
Yeah.
But it only makes sense to do it because
It doesn't have to, not necessarily just like a live event, but anything that's
a thing
involves
that we can
other
give back.
people.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want to do something like an event. It doesn't have to be a podcast
Yeah.
of us sitting and talking, but I want to do something like an event where I can meet people. So if you would be down, or if you have any ideas, let us
Let us
know.
know, man.
I'd say in the comments down below, but you guys are shy, so just DM us
Yeah.
and comment down below.
Obsessive over the last 10%. Make even the smallest details meet the highest standards. So that could be with
Yeah.
anything.
The smallest details are the
Fine
the
margins.
most annoying things if you get wrong.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you're trying to do.
I got a DM today from somebody
You're always
About-
getting DMs.
about us. And they said, we're very underrated. And they can see the level of time and effort that we put into our episodes and that it's not respected enough. I was like, look, but the time will come.
Yeah, it's a timing
The time
thing.
will come.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what Greg was saying, right? Literally right here. He goes, over time, your respect for quality will be returned by the consumer's respect for you.
Yeah. And our respect. Why is Eamon sleeping? Sorry. Yeah. And we just have to, you know what they say? Trust takes years to build, seconds to break.
Yeah.
Brands, followings takes ages as well. Like, it's not something that you don't just gain trust from people.
Mm-hmm.
You gain trust when people connect with you. And like when we have these weekly conversations and we say something that resonates with people, or we say things that can value and add to people's lives, then people resonate, people build a trust with us, and it's our responsibility to uphold that trust and honor it.
100%.
But it's a timing thing. It's not something that you can just, do in a week.
Now he says this. Both of you listen to this all of you listen to this very clearly.
There's only two of them, so
Make people feel. We are at our best when we worry less about how people feel about us and more about how we make them feel about themselves and their ability to achieve their definition of greatness.
We see it. Like when you make someone feel like you need to do this to get to this. Like, you know those ads that come on before YouTube about the guy with the Lamborghini behind him?
Mm-hmm.
Or anything like take hold of your life.
Mm-hmm.
All these motivational things. That's when you're like, whoa, I'm clicking that.
Yeah.
Let me just see.
Just put value.
Yeah.
Nike does it really well.
What do Nike do that makes people want to buy things all the time?
They have an app, the Nike Run Club. They teach you how to run how to build up to different levels.
Oh yeah, they do couch to 5K.
The brand,
Yeah.
the brand ambassador stuff. They work with a lot of big names in it.
The app is banging to use. It's free. And now I've run my first 5K with Nike. And I'm like, yo, I need to buy a pair of Nike shoes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think also with branding, like quality.
If you can link personal achievement to a brand, so like if we can link our perspective or your audience's personal achievements to perspective.
Yeah. So that's one thing that I've always wanted to do.
Yeah.
If we try and find a way where it's like these episodes, people take something out of it,
Yeah.
and then we're able to see the benefit of what they get from it, and then we can maybe share that.
Doesn't have to
That would be sick.
episode itself necessarily. It could be other
Theme.
things to do.
Yeah.
I really,
People give away stuff like the newsletters, for example.
Yeah.
For free, and there might be one of these like video guys do it online all the time. They give you a preset for photography. It's free, but it makes your photos look a bit better. Now you like the guy more, you watch him more.
Yeah. Just provide that value, man.
I was
The
going to
next
say
one-
something and it was so loud, but I forgot about it now.
It's fine. Because the next one, and this is quite important actually, and I think we need to make sure that we never fall into going against this, is let authenticity be your cultural currency. Your original mission
Yeah.
is what got you here.
Yeah.
Remember why you were loved in the first place. You can't manufacture authenticity, so
Yes.
protect yours. It
Yeah.
will be here long after the latest trend disappears. Be yourself.
It's true. People can see right through you when you're not being yourself. And you know when you're like vulnerable
Mm-hmm.
and you have conversations that you wouldn't necessarily have every day and you
Mhm.
share it with people, you build a connection. So it's funny, like all these things, they all just like interlinked.
Yeah.
When you're authentic, you build trust. So yeah, if you're doing anything online, be as authentic as you can. It might be a big ask, but do try your best.
Well, you acting like you just like closed off.
It just feels weird without Eamon.
Yeah.
He just walked off and I was like, oh, this just feels very strange.
It does.
Not
That's
having
just
a
me.
third person.
That's just me and you talking.
It's so
Feel
weird.
uncomfortable.
Little bit.
Well, close the distance because I'm not gonna lie. This is the last part of like the main truths of what he says, and he does say embrace the uncomfortable conversations to uncover the deeper truths within society and to reveal them in more profound ways. Use your platform to amplify the voices of others, not just your own. Share perspectives.
That's why I really, really want this project to be a thing where we have the opportunity to share other people's stories and perspectives. Like, it doesn't necessarily have to be someone famous or with a big following. Yes, it helps the numbers, but I think there's value in everyone's got something to share.
True. Everyone does have something to share.
Yeah.
You just need to dig deeper
And ask the right questions.
and ask the right questions. And that's
Yeah.
up to us.
That is.
Pull together to rise higher. Avoid entering into the creative process with the final answer. To build solutions that respect the community you look to serve, you must include them. Share your ideas together. This will develop a sense of pride and ownership in the future.
Yeah. We need to actually sit down and brainstorm about how to get people involved in perspective.
Yeah.
Like, not just a thing where we turn up on a weekly basis and talk, but how do we get people to
Create a
feel
community.
involved? Yeah, like, is that a Discord? Is that an event? Is that I don't know. I don't know what it is exactly,
Mhm.
but I definitely do want to have a closer connection to people that watch us, help them, and they can help us.
I agree.
Two-way street.
I agree. Be more than a product. Go beyond transactions. Use your product as an invitation and a catalyst to a more equitable future. Strive to serve the moment as well as a lifelong journey of progression and transformation for the community. Basically, just give back.
Yeah.
And lastly, and this one I'm going to look straight into the camera. By leveraging one's life perspective, you can affect the lives of countless others.
Now that is how you end the podcast. Until next, cat. Cut that out.
It's not going to get cut, so you can forget about cutting that one out.
Amen. Cut this out.
He ain't even getting to this part of the podcast.
That's true. He never
Yeah.
even watches us. He's just like, yeah, whatever. Upload.
Listen, we're a bit rusty, but I feel like
We did all right.
yeah, we're getting there. We're getting there. I really, really, really want to work hard for the next few months, just making sure that we create as much as possible, and that's not just digital content. That's also physical products, hopefully, and also giving back to you guys and meeting you guys, like Yahya was saying. So we are in the conversation of hopefully doing a live event or doing something of that sort. And I hope you guys come along with us on that journey where you just provide us with anything that you want, and something that maybe we could do for you. And yeah.
Yeah, if there's anything that we can do to help you in whatever journey it is, let us know. And hopefully we can arrange something.
Cool.
Until next time, take care of yourselves. Spend time with your family. Peace out.
See you later, guys. See you later.